All right, everyone. It is Wednesday evening, June 4th, 2025. I'm back in the Geezer studio for another live stream. I'm speaking, and hopefully, I'll be speaking with y'all tonight. You who have been so gracious, kind, and accommodating to join the damn conversation as y'all have these Wednesday nights at 9 o'clock Eastern. Um, Last week I put the word out that I did not plan on a live stream because I was out making money. And I mentioned actually that um, I was on a run from South Carolina to Virginia. Let's see here. Got somebody. Dave, hey man, I noticed your comment in my upload from today. So thanks, man, for checking out the video, and just thanks for coming through here. Thanks for sticking with me. Um, yeah, that's right, man. Hey, um, yeah. So sticking to my thought, I mentioned last week that at least I put it out there that I was doing a over the road opportunity from South Carolina to Dulles, Virginia. It was an actual delivery on the other side of Dulles International Airport, and it earned me some money, more than what most people get, and that's not the point here with this conversation. But yes, so we're back this week. I actually don't have any guests lined up for next week yet. So if I don't have any guests lined up next week, it will be another free game opportunity until somebody does agree to join the conversation. Dave, let's see what you said. I had a broker jab me exactly the same way. Uh-huh. Um, I'm also going to put out here the invite to um actually speaking with me directly live. In fact, that's part of the reason why I mentioned about a free game and y'all being a guest, because you can join the damn conversation with me in person. And for those who may have some questions or ideas they want to bounce off with me, certainly can. I know people have monetized opportunities for mentoring. I'm not calling. I said it could be a makeshift mentoring opportunity session. We can call it that, or just a rap session. Let's see here. So um, again, we're I'm still working on guests. It's not as easy as it sounds. I put out invites. For example, like with Saint Mike 504, he I sent out an invite to him at the end of March. It wasn't until last month where he recognized the email, and that happens. And of course, he was willing to participate. So that happened with him. Another person, same thing happened, was Gigabyte New York City. I put out an invite about the same time in March, and it was several weeks later before he responded. So it could very well be that some folk may respond. You just never know. Um, so what I want to do is at least give y'all a little bit of a picture of inside what goes on behind the scenes with doing, or at least with me doing videos, or actually doing the preparing for this live stream. Now, I've shared in the past that I hosted an actual podcast back between 2009 and 2010 on a different platform. And when I did that particular podcast, now I was writing books, and I treated that one a little differently. It was almost like a little business enterprise venture. And to do that 1 hour, 1.5 hour, maybe 2 hour podcast, that was like a 40-hour week job, because I spent time also approaching people about at least trying to advertise on my podcast, and Then there was the work of trying to get people to appear on the show, and so it was constant work. And of course, I had a pretty good following in that my my space was dealing with book authors at the time, and so I had folk who would blow up my phone every day of the week. It seems in which they were just shooting the shit with me, or actually asking if they might be able to appear on my podcast. And then when word got out that I no longer was doing the podcast, they all scattered. Michael, what's good? Well, I don't know if it's me, but what's good is the fact that I'm doing another live stream, man. I'm back here to have a damn conversation with y'all. So again, if you want to actually speak and speak directly with me, I'm going to put the link out there. And what will happen is that I'll hear a beep, or I'll see you in the green room, so to speak, and then I will bring you on. So when it comes to putting this together, yes, I kind of rely upon past experience. Now, when I have a guest, I will prepare myself by checking out past videos, and that's why some folk are surprised that I bring up certain things about them, because I'm taking notes. That's the reporter in me, and like on Wednesday. Today, this is like my busiest day of the week because I'm still out there most days. Most of the time, I'm out there trying to make money on Wednesdays. And I'm not going to say Wednesday is is the most important day, but it is a day of the week where I tend to I tend to make money on Wednesdays for whatever it's worth. But then I have to shut it down at some point and get ready for this. So like today, I had 3 delivery opportunities. In fact, my day started like 7 this morning. And what had happened, I was supposed to do a catering opportunity. And I left the house at 7 o'clock. I went to a place that I would call like a staging place. It was a parking lot area. And while doing what I was doing, I got a notification that the order had been canceled. And let's just say that a still small voice within me suggested that I text message the gig app and ask them if they still pay drivers for when the orders are canceled within 2 hours of the scheduled pickup time. And this is the reply that they gave me. They said if the cancellation is more than 1 hour, even if it is 1 more minute, so if it's 1 hour and 1 minute, no payment will be made to the driver if you arrived at the pickup place and it was. Now, if you arrived at the pickup place and it was canceled or you were on the way, the payment will be verified and will be made. It all depends on the situation. So they've actually backed away from that now. So I didn't get anything because it was like an hour and 10 minutes away from pickup time, and I was not heading towards the damn place. I got nothing. Whereas 2 years ago, I would have got, and I believe the actual dollar amount was like $52 for this order. So a year ago, 6 months ago, 2 years ago, I would have got $52. Today I got zero. But that didn't stop me. And what ended up happening is that I happened to find a last mile gig delivery opportunity where I'd actually put in a dollar amount, but somehow the app jacked me and it was for less than half of what I put it in for. And somehow it assigned me the order. And rideshare, better be funkin' late than funkin' never. Well, you're funkin' on time in my book, man. So we will funk. How about that? We will funk around, and somebody may find out. Thanks for coming through here, Rideshare. Now that's Rideshare Rodeo. He's been a 2-time guest on I'm Speaking. He was my first invited guest back in November, and a few weeks back, we funked around and we ended up sharing the word of funk at the end. Let's see, Red Man, get that money right. I be trying, man. I be trying. Hopefully you got some money today as well, and that's what I was going to go ahead and explain with today. So I end up doing that delivery, and en route to that delivery, I happen to uh, hit the accept button on another opportunity, and that kind of that made up for the first opportunity in which I didn't. I was assigned an opportunity that was really a throwaway at that time, at the moment, and then on my way to dropping off that second delivery opportunity, a third one came up from the same app, or at least a second one from the same app. So it was my third opportunity came up. And so it made for a productive day. So then if you recall the video that I put out today, in fact, if I were to go through the Geezer, I'm not gonna call it the Geezer archive, but what I'm about to do is pull up the video from today that I uploaded, and which is called "A Day in the Life of a Delivery and Transport Businessman." I mentioned how I had 3 deliveries yesterday, but yet what happened was the difference of yesterday to today is not just 24 hours, but the difference was about $450. In fact, I'm pulling up the video now. Excuse me, y'all. What happens is that this microphone has some type of it's that foam type material, and so I guess as I breathe, I inhale that foam material. Gig Boss Man, hey there, man. He says, "What's up, Geezer? What's up is y'all." Excuse me. I had to ingest something there. Gatorade. I don't drink, y'all, believe it or not. I actually don't drink. I am pretty straight lace when it comes to that. Red Man, what'd you say here? I'm really out there. I know I'm getting, you said, you know what, I'm getting money. Got this Geezer 16, Geezer van, and the Geezer F-150. Yes. Yeah, I'm out there. I'm out there trying to make it, man. I really am. I mean, I've got my reasons for doing it. And quite honestly, it's about, if you call yourself being in business, I mean, that's what it's all about. I don't have any succession plans set up yet. I don't have anybody that I'm looking to entrust in my equipment. So yes, I got to go out there and make it happen myself. Gig Boss Man, you don't, okay, yeah, that's me, man. I'm straight-laced in that regard. I just got a foul mouth. I'll just leave it at that. Space Age Rich, hey, you ask, what's my opinion on the Roadie app in the Beaufort area? Dude, you know what? It's funny you would say that, Space Age Rich. My second ex is from that area. She's from Ladies Island. And so you know about the dock area where the bridge is. That's where they filmed a scene from Forrest Gump, y'all, where he was Forrest Gump was with Lieutenant, whatever the guy was, the guy who lost his legs in Vietnam. That's where that scene was filmed. And so you're asking about my opinion on the Roadie app in the Beaufort area. You know what? You could really run it up. I would think that you could run it up on Roadie from the standpoint that while Roadie's rates are fucking terrible, I've not been on the app since. Yeah, Lieutenant Dan. That's right, right here, Rodeo. That's the guy, Lieutenant Dan. This is actual free game. A lot of y'all just put in for those orders as they come up. And so it could be because of market, because there's a bunch of folk in the market. But if you're in a market where there's not a lot of people, those orders do go up in price. This is free game. Let the fucking order go up. It's going to go up a couple of times. So if it shows up at $30, it could be $40, $45 it could go up to. And in that market, it is possible where it could go up. Um, some may want to know where Beaufort is. It's on the water, basically. It's like near Hilton Head. Another place that folk talk about in that area is Bluffton and Savannah. But yeah, I've made I shit I by I guess you say by conjugal encumbrance, I had to make a many a trips to that area to Ladies Island. So Rody XD, some say, is much better than just Rody. Maybe it is, but I don't know. I'm not on the app. I've been off the app since July 2023, so I can't speak on that. I'm gonna put the link out there again. If you want to join the damn conversation, talk with me directly. Just hit this link, click the link, and I'll bring you on. You don't have to worry about how you look and all, or how you sound. That's not what it's all about. This is not cosmopolitan. This is not some actual TV broadcast. So let's see. Ride share. I'm telling you business. You're asking David what's up. That's David Roth, that is, and he's saying he is driving and grinding. That's what most of us do. So another thing that happened today while I'm at it, I'm always looking for opportunities while I'm out here. I'm looking for opportunities to either stack or just opportunities to go after. So you just never know when things are going to happen. And this kind of ties into what happened last week. Now, it actually happened twice last week, but the first time I was on my way back from a delivery opportunity when I saw a load board base opportunity come up, and that's the one that was from Camden, which is like right up the road for me, literally where I had to pick up from. It was all right. I just saw Gig Boss Man. I got you there, Gig Boss Man. I'll be bringing you on very shortly. I'm going to complete the thought here first. That pickup location was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 freeway exits from the Geezer compound. And as it turned out, it just happened. It just happened. Another opportunity last week happened where I was in Walmart, literally in Walmart, and I just happened to look at a load board. It was a minor load board, and I ended up booking the opportunity while in Walmart. Go figure. All right, Gig Boss Man, I'm about to bring you on. My man, hey, thanks for joining the damn conversation with me.
How you doing? I got a face made for radio.
Well, I may got a face made for radio too. That's what they used to say. I used to hear that shit, when I was a reporter. Usually, well, they had the face and the body that was made for radio as well.
Oh man.
So it looks like you go ahead.
I just started listening to your videos probably about 3 weeks ago. I think I started listening to you. I don't know how much you might be older than me. I'm not sure. I'm 54 years old.
Oh man, 54 is in my rear view mirror.
Wow. Well, I've been doing gig work for 4 years, and I went full time after I lost my job last year.
Okay.
And it's actually been exactly 1 year ago. I always hear you say stuff like W-2s, the W-2 workers, and I feel that way now since that freedom of doing the 1099 thing.
Right.
I'm in my van right now. It's
yeah, I can tell. Are you actually doing an actual opportunity, or you're done for the day, or what?
Well, I took a roadie earlier, and
okay,
for the first time ever, I took a roadie, and I drove to the site to pick up, and I forgot to take my picture. That's the first time I ever did that. I showed up to get the order, and I lost it. So I wasted the miles and the fuel to go pick up that. I was paying like $30 or something to pick up some folks. But
Oh,
yeah.
the mulch game, huh?
Oh my God, there's been so much mulch in the last like couple of months. It's like mulch, it's like bags and bags. I think I delivered
Yeah.
17 bags of mulch this morning.
See now, if you've heard what I've said, I've kind of talked about y'all. I've kind of talked rather down on y'all because y'all be doing that shit for $30 to $50. Some of y'all doing an entire pallet of like 40 of them for $40, and that was my dig at y'all. At least in today's video, where I had just a bag of potting soil, potting mix.
Yeah, I saw that one bag. I was laughing at your video. I'm like, is he bragging about that one bag? Try, you know. I've delivered a lot of mulch. This is the most I've ever delivered on Roadie, and from Home Depot, it's a lot. It's a whole lot, but in my area, you know, it's not like Atlanta. You look over in Atlanta, the map's full of stuff all over the place. I'm in Birmingham.
Okay. Yeah, you 2 hours over, right?
Yeah,
2.5.
we don't
Is
have
it 2.5
as much
hours?
as 2.5
over?
from 2.5 from downtown Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah. So
well, I'm gonna ask you this since you're in your van. And what type of van you got?
It's a 98 Ford Econoline E150.
Okay. Now that is a cargo van, y'all. This is what I've been talking about. Well, that's why I say sprinter/cargo van. Gig Boss Man has a cargo van. And the reason being is because those are engineered or were built for even heavier payloads. It's got the V8 engine. He's got the 5.4 liter engine. That's one of the best that Ford ever made. But that's why I call it sprinter/cargo van. I've got a Transit 250. It's got the higher profile. It's the sleeker build. It's not the Mercedes van, but because people want to get caught up on the nameplate, but it is considered a sprinter class van.
My friend in Atlanta, he's got a Freightliner, which is owned by Mercedes, I believe. And his is considered a Mercedes Sprinter. That thing is huge.
Right. Yeah, that's the boat. Those are the boats. They're like 180 inch wheelbase, and they can put like 3-4 pallets off in their standard size pallets.
Exactly.
Let's see. We need to do the mulch sometime. Yes, I get it, Brian. Y'all got to do it sometimes, but I'm just saying that you need to be selective with what you do. Look at the money and make it worth your while. I mean, I'm just going to throw it out there. 2 years ago, I did a pallet of mulch. It was like 50 bags. I got $249 for it though.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. I would have did it for $249.
Yeah. See, but you don't see that type of money anymore. Okay. And so if I'm not seeing that type of money, why am I going to do it? And and like I said, 54, that's several years back for me. That's when I first found out I needed hip replacement surgery. So that's not the reason why I don't do it. It's just that it doesn't make any sense to me. And so if I'm talking down on y'all, I'm talking because I've done it as well. Okay. And if I'm
well, for me, I'm not in a situation where I've only been doing roadie since 2022. And I keep hearing people say, well, Roadie was paying X amount of dollars for this load a few years ago. And I guess I've come in at a point where it's lower, so I don't know what it used to be like. So you do. You may know what it was like beforehand.
Oh, yeah. I was on Roadie from 2018 to 2023. In fact, when I was on Roadie, I could call Atlanta and speak with someone. And there were times that I could actually get them to bump up the pay if I had a valid argument.
That's before UPS bought it?
Yes.
Okay. Because customer service is absolute garbage now.
Yeah, so like if it was an airport run and there was a bag that was like over 75 pounds, I could call them and get them to bump it $10, $15. Can't do that now. If it's over, if it's 200-pound bag, you got assigned it. That's your run now. Go get it. Go get it, Fido.
Yeah, it's pretty much my issue with all of the gig apps right now, especially because I do a lot of Amazon Flex. I do probably 3 or 4 runs a week, but I don't do them because right now all of the runs are starting out at like $63. I'm not doing that. I can't. It's got to be close to 100 or more before I pull a 3 hour gig to make it like, $30 something an hour. And I usually finish early because I did one 2 nights ago.
Okay.
I went in at 4 a.m. and I was supposed to finish at 7:30 and I finished at 6:30. And that was paying $94.
All right.
That was.
Yeah. Okay. I'm with you on that. I did Amazon Flex. I've shared this before. In my market, this is between 2018, November 2018 to like October 2019 is when I did Amazon Flex. I'm gonna say this up front. The reason why I got deactivated is because I cursed out some van supervisors. That's what it amounted to. I cursed out the DSP supervisors, and pretty much it was them or me, because I told them that they were taking money from us. But anyway, I can talk about that.
How so? I'm curious.
Well, you see, this is how I've just learned straight up. I was among the second wave of drivers to open the Columbia market where I'm at. Okay. The first group came in like at the end of October 2018, beginning of November 2018. So I was the second group of drivers that were onboarded. And when we started out, dudes were getting runs for those 3-hour blocks for $90, $100+ the money that you're talking about. Now, as they added more drivers, the numbers started going down because the thirsties are grabbing shit at $54, $57, $60. Okay.
They're killing us.
So now when you're opening up a market, that's when you're going to make your most money, at least what I've come to understand with Amazon Flex. So then they started bringing in the DSPs, the vans, the contractors. Okay. And so to keep them happy, they had to they divert the volume from what was going to the Amazon Flex drivers to the van companies. They got to have volume to move because they got to pay their drivers and all that. So I told them that y'all taking our fucking money. That you're taking money from us. All right. And so they asked, well, why don't you come on with us? I said, why would I take a pay cut? Because this is 2019. I was doing $3,000 a month on Amazon Flex alone.
Wow.
Yeah, I was one of the highest earners. I was the highest earner driver in the Columbia market. So that's why I got deactivated. It wasn't because I wasn't delivering stuff or doing shit wrong. It was because I cursed them out. I called them out.
Well, if anybody, I can't see my chat because I've never used StreamYard. I can't see the chat. I'm sorry, your chat. If anybody in this chat is doing Amazon Flex, I strongly suggest doing the ones that start at 3 o'clock in the morning, because those have a tendency of sitting there until the last minute and getting up to 90, 95, 100, 120, $150 in that range and that out. So if you're doing Amazon Flex, I suggest doing the 3 a.m. or I usually take the 4 a.m. run, 3:45 to 4 a.m. If you let that, because people aren't letting them sit there. And when I get there at that time of morning, it's still like 100 drivers there at 3:30 or 4.
The thirst is real, man.
Oh my God, they're just keep. And right now, the other day, I think Flex went down for like a few hours, and when it came back up, everything on the board was $63 for 3.5 hours.
Wow.
And was that $18 an hour?
Yeah, that's 21. 21.
Now it was all $63, 3.5 hours, not 3.
Oh, 3.5. Oh, that's like 18. 18 is the minimum. So yeah. 18 is the minimum.
The whole board was filled with 63, and that board emptied out fast, and I did not touch a thing, and I wasn't going to. That board emptied out so fast when it popped back up. And there's a there's a Facebook page with drivers on it. For all of the gig apps, whatever gig app you're on, I suggest going to some of the Facebook pages or forums or whatever, and looking at some of those guys and some of the orders that they're taking, and it's ridiculous how we're not making the companies pay us more because we're taking whatever they give us.
Right, and that's where I started calling. Actually, it was while I was doing rideshare. You were actually helping me. If you would not believe this, man, Gig Boss man, I actually wrote what we're talking about a part of my notes. So you're doing my show here, man. But Yeah, this is where I started calling people thirsty. Back in my Amazon Flex days, back in my rideshare days, because they were grabbing shit for the base money, wouldn't let it go up. And I'm telling them, look, y'all, if you let them go up, you'll make more money and you won't complain as much. Um, what about the blocks? Do they still come out at any time of the day? Because there were you. What I'm saying is that with Amazon Flex, you can almost become a prisoner of your phone, waiting for blocks to appear.
Well, you got people sitting there with those bots, and they're constantly
Mm.
hitting the refresh button. And as soon
Yeah,
as an
yeah,
order
yeah.
pops up, and
Uh-huh.
and you try to click on it, somebody snatches it
Mhm.
instantly. You're not
Right,
going to get most of those orders, and that's what's going
right.
on. I think Amazon's going to try to. Okay, I don't know if I'm gonna get. Hold on a second. I don't know if I'm gonna
Mhm.
get disconnected. Let me look at this Walmart. I'm trying to pull a spark order. I haven't made but 100 and
Okay. I think that's Gig Boss Man. I'm gonna keep him on, but he's lost his connection. But Saint Mike 504, my man. He's out the Denver market. He says summertime is when he does single deliveries with the option to stack. Wintertime is when he do the bundle orders. Okay. All right.
what app?
As-
What app is he talking about?
Um, well, he just saying he does single deliveries with an option to stack during the summertime. He's in the Denver market, so that's what works for him. Wintertime is when he does the bundle orders.
I don't know what that is. What's it mean bundle? You talking about a batch order?
I
Like,
guess on the Roadie app,
oh yeah,
like
I stack road apps as much as I can.
right. All right, I got you here, Paul, man. Paul Lyons. Here, what I'm gonna do, Gig Boss Man, I'm gonna add this other guy here, Paul Lyons, so we can
Come
have
on in.
have a little panel here. Hey there, man.
Hey, Geezer, how you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. You're making my night by joining the damn conversation. So you on here with Gig Boss Man? He's in Birmingham.
Yeah,
You are in what market?
Detroit, Michigan.
Detroit. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So
City of the potholes.
yeah, yeah,
Is
yeah.
it that bad?
Yeah,
It's that bad. It's that
It-
bad. And
it's
I'm
that
talking about
bad.
from 30. I'm talking from over 30 years ago. So
Yeah,
if
it hasn't gotten any better. Has not gotten any better.
so when
Has
they
not.
had the car race there, they made sure to avoid the potholes, or they filled up those potholes for that car race.
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely hasn't gotten any better.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say I was watching your video.
Hmm.
It may have been posted 2 days ago or 3 days ago when you was talking about the cost of the chase.
Oh yeah, the chase. Yeah, I admit to chasing and the cost being,
Yes.
what I say, time
Yes.
and you. Mhm.
Yes. And when you're like, you're always thinking about your next dollar earned.
Right.
Like, and so I find myself, I struggle with that drastically.
Okay.
And it's gotten to the point where even on days when I'm saying I'm not going to do anything, for us, we flip open our phones, we see orders,
Yeah.
it's just like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do this freight order. It's paying $40. It's taking me 15, 20 minutes, and then you do it, and it's just like,
Why in the fuck did I do that? I could have stayed home.
I could have stayed home. And so I wanted you to know, because I also watched your video today when you were saying
Yeah.
how your content may not be in the algorithm, but
Mhm.
for the adults in the room,
Hmm.
we appreciate your content.
Thanks, man.
Your professionalism, the way you carry yourself, the good, the bad, the ugly, but speaking to, like you said, the chase. And I'm like even here in Michigan, I have necessarily a dedicated route. It's a Lowe's contract. So when people
Okay.
need their flooring done,
Mhm.
delivered to their house, I kind of
Right.
do that.
Right.
Any given day, I can make it easily $450, $500.
Right.
And I get to pick and choose when I want to drop them off.
Hmm.
And then I find myself when I'm done with that, like, I want to go do Amazon Flex. I want to go, you know what I'm saying? It's just like,
You're installing the floors or just dropping them off?
just dropping them off. So it's hit or miss. Some days I'll have an order that'll have 10 boxes. Sometimes I have an order that'll have 40, 50 boxes, and he'll pay a little bit more. Because I'm like the last one on the totem pole, so I know it's getting stepped on 4 or 5 times before it gets to me.
Right.
But I've been deactivated on Roadie for the very same thing that you were talking about with Amazon Flex. I probably was one of the highest earners on Roadie back when our orders were like $50, $60 or whatever it was.
Right.
I kept seeing how they kept just mislabeling orders, and it got to the point where they said I had too many adjustments on my account anyway. So
what do you mean mislabeling? I don't understand.
So they'll label it. At this time, it would let's just say it was a hot water tank or whatever, and it'll be on the description. It'll say fit in your front seat.
Oh, they ain't gonna fit no front seat. Come on.
Or this is a good one. It will be 35 bags of mulch, and they will label it the pencil. So when the description, when they put it in, it's a quote unquote medium order. So the difference at that time between a medium and a huge gig, a medium would have been like 35. I know it's even less now. And then the huge might have been 55, 60. Yeah. Like it was a big difference.
Right.
And so I will call them in, and I know what they will want. I will have my measurements. I would have the measurements. I would show it to them and label it out. And after so many adjustments, I end up getting deactivated from Roadie. So this Lowe's contract has really sustained me. I don't have commercial insurance or anything like that right now. Just because I seem to be doing okay.
Are you driving their vehicle, or are you using your vehicle?
Mine.
Okay, well, I would strongly suggest that you get at a minimum rideshare endorsement on your vehicle with your insurance company. At least this is in South Carolina. It's different in Michigan, but like I know Allstate offered rideshare endorsement. Of course, Progressive offers rideshare endorsement. But you may have to, look around to find those places at a minimum, getting your vehicle with rideshare endorsement and also having it classified for business purposes. Now, I understand that, commercial, that's a big step in the pocketbook. But at a minimum, that's what you want to do.
Okay.
At a minimum, because right now, if you are at fault on a claim, they're gonna revoke your policy.
Yeah, my wife actually, me and her been talking about that. So I just want to just do it. I just wanted to do it the right way. But like I said, I just wanted to come up and let you know your content as far as being transparent, as far as the chase, as far as like, yeah, you literally, that video spoke directly to me because I'm. It's like these apps have a sole function to have our phone.
Yeah.
And so like, okay, I got to make sure I catch it. Okay. Like even sometimes in the middle of the night when I wake up, like I'll find myself rolling over to try to like, did an order come in? Like, and I'm just like, okay, I need to disconnect. So when you spoke that in that video, like I said, I just wanted to tell you, thank you. I needed to hear that content.
Mr. Lyons, thank you. Thank you for the feedback. That's what it's all about. If it reaches one person, then it's not in vain. Sure, as a content creator, you like to reach more folk, but I understand that, hey, the algorithm is done what it's done. So if the people who are checking out the stuff, these are the people who are supposed to be checking it out.
Yep.
So thank you, man. Anything else?
No, just keep up the content, even the unpopular content, keep it up. The real business people and the real people who are in it to have longevity are definitely paying attention, and I'm one of those. So
well, thanks, man. Thanks again.
Appreciate it.
All right. Let's see.
To piggyback on what he was saying about having a contract with somebody, I haven't done that yet because I like my freedom with just being able to pick what I want when I want. And I've had opportunities to probably like go pull with somebody, or I just don't want to have to go and be forced to do anything. I heard you speak on that today too, and I was like, yeah, that's one reason why I don't do it. You were saying something about having a dedicated route or something with somebody every day. You got to show up and do their job for them every day. That's too much like a real job. That's too much. I'm sorry, not like a real job. Too much like clocking in.
Right.
This is doing this for the last year has spoiled me. After working for 30 years, clocking in and clocking out, and having to be at somebody's job and on their clock and request vacation time, and I need to take off for this. This year has spoiled me. And my wife said, well, maybe, because, sometimes when it gets kind of slow, because I'm making about $6,000, a little over $6,000 a month.
No shame there, man. No
I'm
shame
making
whatsoever.
I'm making, but that's about 40% more than I was making at my job.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
So
that means you're doing like what, about 3,600, maybe 4,000 at the other job, and now you've increased
some way out.
That's all right, man. That's all right.
Yeah, so I've increased my income by over $2,500 a month by losing my job.
They did you a big favor. They did you a big favor.
I wasn't mad when they said I was fired because I had a forklift accident. And they were, they were trying to they were laying people off, especially the people that's been there as long as I have been. Because I'm one of the higher paid regulars there, and they just got real strict on the rules. Oh, now we're not letting anybody get away with anything now. And then they wrote me up, and I was pushed out the door. And that day, I just went home and took everything that I had from that job, 20 years, and threw it in the dumpster. Garbage bin, threw it all away. And I said, I can't worry about that no more, because when I left, I had a job waiting on me, and that was it.
Right. That's all right.
So I had a job. All I had to do was just figure out how to make more money. Get my Sprinter van in October. Getting this puppy right here in October was the best decision I made. And I suggest anybody, don't be scared. Don't worry about that gas money, because I hear a lot of people saying, oh, man, the gas and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, this thing gets 14 miles to the gallon. But yesterday, I made $300 in this van, and I only spent $30 in fuel. And I still was riding on some of that fuel today.
Right. Well, that's all right. That's all right, man. Now I'm going to share with you what I did today, but I want to acknowledge these folks. Space Age Rich had a question that he'd asked me about 15 minutes ago, and he says, been doing gig work, not done his taxes in 6 years since before the pandemic. Do I know anyone who could help you? Well, you may want to get in contact with that tax professional like tomorrow, okay? And I hope that you've got your paperwork from going back 6 years, because you're going to need every last piece, man. That is something that I probably need to talk more about in terms of keeping up with your paperwork, keeping up with your expenses, it's one thing to keep up with the income, but you also got to keep up with the expenses on a daily basis. This is what I do. I have Excel spreadsheet that I actually enter in all my expenses on a daily basis. I actually have 2 backup files for that. A lot of the transactions I do are not cash; they're done with my card. So I have a way of going back and or on card, doing with a card or online. So therefore, I'm able to keep up with things. At the end of the year, or at the end of the year, let's just say around March, I'm able to go back through the spreadsheet and just add up everything that was spent during the month, and that's how I'm able to do my taxes. So I gave you a long answer, but you better you're gonna have to find that person in your market, find you that tax person who can help you out, man. That's the best answer I can give you. Let's see, Brian Pruden, still going on Home Depot. Yeah, the worst. Okay, I got you. Say, Mike, got the pencil order is how they get over and save costs. I'm going to share with y'all another way how these apps get over, and it's what they downgrade the orders. This is not a term that they use. This is a term that I use. On certain apps, what they will do is what should be for a Sprinter / cargo van or for a box truck, they'll say it's for a pickup truck. Because they've come to know that people will show up in a fucking pickup truck and try to take 16 foot slabs or planks of wood on their pickup trucks.
Hold on a second. To add to that, you do have people that will accept the order like that, that will be like for something that they can't carry, go to the job site, say they can't pick it up, wait the 15 minutes and get the $8 or whatever it is waiting fee.
Right. So they try to steal up. That they try to steal
so basically,
up.
They just go there and show up just to get the $8 waiting fee. So they'll sit out there wait for 15 minutes, and that's why I don't know that it took me going to pick up some auto parts from a Freightliner, because I pull a Freightliner auto parts and stuff like that for them with Roadie. And there's a lady, they said she show up all the time to pick up an order, and she'll sit out there and she'll wait. Now the problem with her doing that is she'll get the $8, but when the order pops back up, it's probably going to be less. They're going to drop the price on the order. I've seen that happen too, where somebody accepts order, when it comes back, it's dropped. But that person that showed up just to get that $8, they said she's done it a bunch of times. She show up, she gets the $8, and then backs out the order pops right back up. And I told her, I said, that's why she's doing it. She's getting the $8.
Right.
Wait, $8 waiting fee for 15 minutes.
Yeah, I can tell it myself, but there was a time Roadie would give you more than just that $8, depending on the order and depending on how the app was functioning. You could have gamed the app into a lot more money. But since I'm off the app, I'll tell you what I used to do. If I really didn't feel like doing the order, I would not show up there. I would just hang out in the parking lot somewhere and wait it out, and then say, too long of a wait, and then get the cancellation money. But that's
yeah, for me that's not profitable. Me driving across town to get whatever the wait fee is it's not worth it. I'd rather not.
I get what you're saying, but this is like at a Walmart that was like 10 minutes from my house, so that's why I would do that. But what you're talking about is an annoying thing when people would, but you would also hear the stories of people showing up, doing like DoorDash type orders. They show up in their little Kia Soul and they have a hot water heater, and damn, they can't do that. But this is some of the game shit that what these apps are doing. They're greed to try to get more money. They don't care. They don't care as long as these things are moved. I got someone here. First time I've seen this person, Select Auto Glass, asking, do I need to acquire BOC for a cargo van business? You don't acquire BOC 3. In fact, that is a form that is filled out. It's like BOC 3 is where it's like these designated names of people who handle certain like if there's papers that are served on you for some shit that's done in another state. There's a list of people in each state whose names are placed on that form, so you don't have to acquire it. It's done for free. You may pay somebody to do that one. That's one that you may be willing to pay somebody to do it, but it's a form that you can fill out yourself. So that's the answer for that. I'm gonna ask you this question, boss man, fellow geezer. I guess I can say a fellow geezer since you're a statesman. A statesman of the gig app game.
Yeah.
So with respect to your insurance, you're just operating on personal insurance, or do you have commercial insurance?
Yeah, I haven't done the ride share add-on. That's what I do need to do that. I haven't done it.
Okay, yeah, do look into that. I mean, basically, it's not an arm and a leg.
I know it's definitely. I definitely need to do it, because I know if I hit somebody, they ain't gonna cover it, and I'm gonna have to come out of my pocket. So I totally understand the reasoning behind having it.
Right. Yeah. At a minimum, y'all, this is something that I recommend. I say this as an insurance agent. I've said this many a times. I've got over 20 years in insurance, over the last 10 plus years in property and casualty. This is something it's not just states, it's not just South Carolina specific. This is something that you need to look at in your respective states. And that's why I always say contact your local insurance agent, because they know the nuances. They know the nuances of your state where you're in. If you're in South Carolina, I can tell you what needs to be done. But anyway, let's see. Anyone else?
When I got the insurance for this van, they actually asked, was I going to use it for rideshare?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I said no because at the time I was going to sit on it for a while
Mm-hmm.
and see and try to figure out what I was going to do because I was delivering in an SUV at first,
Right.
and I wasn't really doing a lot of roading in the SUV. I'd pick up whatever I could get in the SUV, but
Mm-hmm.
uh, but then I parked my vehicle and I said I'm just going to try to alternate between both, and then after a while I stopped alternating and just stayed in the van.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well,
So that's
I mean,
the main reason why I did it. Yeah, go ahead.
well, it's worked for you though. So I mean, hey, no shame in the game, man. I mean, what you're doing. I mean, what do you plan to do? What do you plan? Do you plan to just stay in the capacity that you're in right now? Are you looking to level up, or you're just okay where you are?
To be honest with you, I want to level up,
Mm-hmm.
but you know the added expenses of DOT and yeah, I mean a friend of mine, my homeboy in Atlanta, he's on all those apps that where he can like get the loads. I mean he's got me on Curry, so I'm on Curry with him. Uh, he's got my information for my van, so I go pull stuff. He'll send me stuff sometimes to go pull.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Uh, but I would like to level up. I'm not sure I want to deal with that. I'm not sure I want to deal with that expense, but I can see where the money. I'm listening at you.
Mm-hmm.
Now you stepped up and started making more money on bigger runs in a shorter period of time. You're making like you say, was that $700 that day you said you made? Was that yesterday or the day or
that
something?
Was Monday.
Yeah. Yeah,
I didn't even mention what I did today though, but yeah, Monday it was over 750.
Oh wait, I was gonna say something about that too. You said people were call you gatekeepers, which is an interesting term to say. Hey, I don't want nobody to know how much I'm making, and I get it. You may not want to let some folks know. I don't really care. If somebody asks me, hey, that's not what I'm making.
No, it's not so much as the gatekeeper of the money. It's just that I don't divulge the apps like I used to. I don't give the answers to the test. But I've also been this year more selective when I talk about the money earned. Redman mentioned something, and I acknowledge this already, Redman, that yes, I should have charged the broker to take the freight back. Yeah, that was brought to my attention from a friend.
That shocked me. When you said you went back without a return fee, I was shocked when you said that. As I was listening to you, I was like, dang, you didn't ask for a return pay?
See,
I was shocked when you said that.
I fucked up, y'all. I fucked up. But hey, here's what happened. I was dealing with a broker whereby I didn't know if they would try to blame that shit on me that I didn't check the freight to start out with. So, in dealing with these people, they have found ways not to pay you. But then again, that's something that I did not know, that I should have charged them something to take it back. Okay. So that's a lesson learned. How much did I miss? Anywhere between $100 and $275.
Yeah, I think you missed about $100 because you know how the brokers try to squeeze everything out of you they can.
Right. So, again, it's a lesson learned. I'm always talking about you can't get the business unless you ask for it. Well, I didn't ask for it and I didn't get it. That's the lesson right there. So, what more can I say?
Some people got to understand that broker might have got the contract for $700, but they're trying to get you to take it for $250. And then all they're doing is, and all they're doing is sitting there doing the paperwork and sending it to you, and they're making all of the money while you're doing all of the work.
That's right.
So
in this particular case, that could have been the case. I could have taken all the money if I'd gotten them, for that return trip money. Yes.
Yeah. Just be careful out there, people, especially those taking those runs. And you got people that's taking anything at any price. I mean, it's
shameful. It is absolutely shameful, man, what they're doing. And it's at all levels. It's the big trucks that's doing the shit, the box trucks, the flatbeds. It's at all levels that they're doing that shit. Yeah.
But it appears to be like, I noticed to be a lot of foreign workers, like from Africa and India and South America and wherever they're from. They seem to be the ones that's taking anything.
It's it's not just them, man. It's not them. It's somebody.
The reason I say that is there was who was that? I was talking to a guy yesterday or day before yesterday. He was talking like they know that there was like a Hispanic group of 7 Hispanic guys in one truck, one 18-wheeler, and that truck never stopped. And all of them were using the same check-in ID, and I think only 2 of them were logbooking, but all 7 of them were driving in the truck.
And if DOT ever pulled them over,
yeah, you're right. They probably get deported.
at a minimum. At a minimum. At a minimum. Okay.
You got that kind of stuff going on out here, and it's making it hard for the people out here who are trying to make an honest living. You got people out there cheating the system. So that's what's killing us too. They're making it easier for the companies to pay nothing because it's so bad out here. Yeah, but you got to be vigilant. You got to check. You got to cherry pick. People, please cherry pick.
Wait. Now here, listen to Gig Boss Man. Y'all may not want to hear what I got to say. Listen to him. This is the first time we've ever spoke. Okay.
Yeah.
He lives from me 5, almost 6 hours away. This man is 6 hours away in another time zone. All right. Hear what he's saying. If you don't want to listen to me, hear what he says. All right. Hear what he says. Yeah, he's telling y'all. He's telling y'all what other people are actually saying in their own little conversations about this. That's why I'm so hard on fucking thirsties for that very reason. That's why I'm always pointing out when people are doing thirsty shit, because it has its effect. When you work in the gig apps, it's the algorithm, because the algorithm is studying people's habits and tendencies. That's why on DoorDash, what used to happen is you see certain orders come to you because it was based on your order selection. With the brokers,
yeah, like my aunt is 68. I think my aunt's 68. She's doing DoorDash, and some of the orders she's taking, I wouldn't even look at. But I'm not saying she's, she doesn't know any better, and I try to teach her a better way to do her miles versus dollars versus time.
Right.
And she's gotten better, but she's still taking orders I wouldn't take it. As long as you got DoorDash and Uber Eats constantly, Uber Eats and DoorDash are constantly advertising for drivers constantly.
Right.
Because you got some walking in one side of the door and they're kicking some, and some either get kicked out the other end, or they just stop doing it because they don't see any money in it. And as long that's what's keeping the pay low. The availability of people that want to do that, even for a month. If they're doing it for a month, hey, DoorDash got what they needed out of you. They got 80, 100, 2,000 drivers waiting behind you to come in.
Right. Now,
that's why they don't care.
Yeah. Now, here's just a fun fact, y'all. In 2018, 2019, DoorDash boasted of having like 400,000 drivers on the app. As late as 2-3 years ago, they had over 6 million people who supposedly was active on the app.
6 million? I did not know it was that doggone many.
6 million.
Dog.
Yes.
It was a lot.
It had mushroomed 20 times. And, a lot of that happened to be because of the golden era between 2020 and the first half of 2022. But the fact of the matter is, you have that many people on the app. Yes, that happens. And the other thing is that, and it's worth mentioning again, you mentioned in the onset, Boss Man, about W-2. People come into this space with that W-2 mentality. You're looking at things in terms of the earnings per hour, or mainly earnings per hour, or they're just looking at it. Well, this is better than what I make on the job. You can't talk business. I mean, damn it, how many times I say this? If you want business like results, you got to do this shit like a business. You got to think like a business person. But if you don't know, then that's what happens. So that's why you've got to, it's more than just research market about, what's going on out there. You got to look into this shit as, if you don't understand business, there's a lot of material out there to understand about business. You don't have to have a degree in business to understand certain things. Personally, I have a minor in general business, but you can find material on YouTube that can help you understand business. Um, Go on, search the internet about business, and you'll learn terms that you may not have heard before. Let's see. I think Bossman, he's coming back in again. Okay. But yeah,
Yeah. Sorry, I keep looking at the app. I keep getting orders for Walmart. I'm just sitting
uh,
there talking now. Normally I would have stopped, but I'm just sitting there talking
well,
because I don't mind. I like educating people. I know it seems like you like educating people because that's what we're
yeah,
supposed to do as the old guys. We're supposed to
yeah,
be passing on good information to the younger people so that they understand. Well, how much is
yeah,
your time worth? Is your time worth $8 an hour to go and pull something? Go pull a DoorDash order and it take you an hour to deliver it. You only made $8, not including your gas.
right.
You got to start thinking like that when you're going out pulling any of this stuff. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Let you
No,
talk.
no, we're almost done here, man. Let's see here. Dragonfly asking about. He asked me this in a comment. He asked, "But what's the length of my box truck?" It's 16 feet, man. It's a 16-foot box truck. My next step is a 26 with a lift gate. That's the next move, and I get that. It's watch out. That's all I'm gonna say is watch out because everything opens up for me with this 26 and the lift gate. Um, but y'all, we've gotten to an hour. Gig Boss Man, I'm gonna have to bring you on. Just me and you talk.
Okay.
It'll be the geezer hour.
Yeah, the old cats. Call us the old
Yeah,
cats.
the old cast. They talk about OGs. Okay, so that'll be the
Yeah,
OG hour.
yeah. This was fun. Thank you for having me in. I got a YouTube page too. It's uh, uh, the Gig Boss Man. Kind of
Okay.
hard to find. I don't have a whole lot of videos up of
Hold.
me doing stuff. I pull some stuff, and I got videos on my phone that I haven't
Uh huh.
uploaded yet. For just me doing pulls, just doing
Uh
some
huh.
of the stuff that I pull in the van. But
Oh, I haven't. Let's see. Is it boss? Is boss and man separate words?
do I have a separate word? Might have a separate. I might
I'm
have a
looking
separate.
for. No, I don't see it. I see everything else. I see a bunch of songs and
Click
stuff.
click on my profile. Maybe you click on my profile, you'll see it. But
Uh, let's see here.
um,
So you came on early.
yeah, I
I
popped
don't.
up signed out of YouTube because I'm here. I've never done StreamYard. I listen to other podcasts that use StreamYard. I didn't know it was this easy to get
Uh,
into StreamYard.
I'm gonna. If you can, I'm gonna. If you can, email me tonight. All right. Email me tonight, or just comment tonight, or I think you've commented before, but comment tonight.
Yeah.
And what I'll do is look up your profile from there, and then I'll send you an invite, and we're gonna have an OG hour.
Okay.
Gotta do that. Gotta do that. I got to do that, man.
Man, it's good speaking to you, man. I'm glad I spoke to you for the first time. Thank you for inviting me in.
Yeah.
I'm all about having fun and laughing. I'm married too. And I got a wife. You got a wife or girlfriend too, and they want your
Uh-huh.
time and trying to do this and make time for them.
Right.
It's it can be tough sometimes. I say, hey, you want to pay these bills, or you want me to pay them? That's how I tell my you want to pay this rent and this all these other bills. Then you
Yeah.
need to be quiet and let me go out and make my money. And that's not trying to be a hole to my wife. But
No, but I think she's probably starting to ask you, at least if you showing that type of money, she's like, well, when you going out? What time you going out today?
no, it's my
How did it?
wife. My wife. She was if I could sit there in front of her and just listen to her talk all day, then she
Uh-huh.
would love it.
Oh.
I love my wife too, and she got my back. But yeah, I have to get out, get from with her, and go ahead and make some money. Otherwise, I'd be sitting there in front of her. Hey man, I
Well,
don't want to hold you up. I know you got things you got to do.
well, man, I gotta say this before you get off the now. Under a different pen name, I wrote a book called "Husbands Listen to Your Wives." Okay. Need I say any more?
And I'm going to listen. My wife loves me, and I know, you know,
Uh-huh.
she'll do whatever for me.
Right. But that's all right, man. You got somebody pulling in the same direction. That means that's everything for a guy. When they're pulling in the same direction, you can get somewhere.
Look for a woman that's on your team.
Yeah.
Not one that's out looking, not one that wants you to go and buy a Rolex or go buy a purse or go and flaunt stuff in front of everybody. Hey, that's just enough more old man stuff. Get you a woman that's about you and her, and y'all doing things together, and enjoying each other, and loving on each other, and going places together, and on the same mission.
Right. All right, man. Well, again, comment, or I'm going to look for your comment and be looking for an email from me, or I'll be looking for an email from you. All right.
All right, man. Is a link to your email in Gig Geezer?
I think so. Yes, I think
so. Okay,
so.
I'll click on it and send it through that.
All right, good enough. All right, man. All right, y'all. Well, we've made it an hour. I'm going to say that Gig Boss Man, he was the show. He was the show. And I thank him. I thank Paul Lyons for coming through. I thank all y'all for coming through tonight. This is what my hope was this week when I said that y'all would be the guest. I do like to have guests on where I've scheduled something, but this one I like. I really like this one, and I really be looking forward to listen to this one on once this is done. So as I mentioned, I don't have anyone scheduled for next week, and if it unfolds where we'll have another free game night, so be it. But as y'all heard, I will be trying to hook up with Gig Boss Man for an OG night. So as I always say, thanks for coming through here. If you like the content that's been provided here, hit that subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, and share the content among others. And may your grind and may your hustle continue. Till next time.